Second year drugs. Allen's Keynotes 1.0. Test Yourself version. By Dr. Asima Hashmi. Complete absence of thirst. Similar to pulsatilla in affections of the eyes. Chamomilla is the vegetable analog of aggravation, waking at 4 a.m. Headache ameliorated by cold bathing like spigelia. Clergyman's sore throat. Especially adapted to young and have amelioration by nourishment. Cannot eat plants that thrive near water. Ailments from bad effects of vaccination. Aggravation at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. First remedy for injuries to the deeper tissues after major surgical work. Prevent excessive suppuration and disfiguring scars. Mental calmness contraindicates. For the bad effects or abuse of mercury. Chronic brain effects of blows and falls. Mental labor very difficult, reading and writing fatigue, cannot bear to think. Aversion to being washed, always aggravation after a bath. Especially adapted to young girls who lead a sedentary life. Aggravation warm room. Child clings to those around, wants to be carried, cries and whines. If anyone touches it, it will not let you feel the pulse. Widow remedy. Amelioration lying on painful side. Sensation of feather in larynx, exciting cough. Useful in deep-seated progressive chronic diseases. Inimical to zinc, must not be used before or after. Eyes feels hot like balls of fire. Aversion to cold bathing. Child cries when washed or bathed with cold water. Canine hunger, hungry soon after a full meal. White or gray coating at the base of tongue. Complaints from standing in cold water or working in cold clay like calcarea. Bad effects from getting wet like rustics. Wants to be carried, but carrying gives no relief. In the early stages of febrile conditions. Aggravation 4 to 6 a.m. Cough paroxysms follow each other rapidly. Children who cannot bear milk. Headache ceases during menses, returns when flow disappears. Mental confusion, cannot find the right word for anything. Vegetable analog of magphos. Dissatisfied and angry about himself or his complaints, especially when constipated. Bryonia alba is complementary to aggravation full moon. For children and young people inclined to grow fat like calcarea for the extremes of life. Extremities, shooting pains like lightning shocks down the whole limb, left hip, left thigh, left knee into popliteal fossa. Great sleepiness or irresistible inclination to sleep with nearly all complaints. Bright red hemorrhage, active or passive. Inimical to apis, must not be used before or after. Pain suddenly migrating from one part to another. Amelioration in open air. Blisters on the tip of the tongue. All parts of the body upon which he lies are painful as if bruised. Aggravation after sleeping. Time passes too slowly. Amelioration going without regular meals. Thinks it's useless to take medicines, is incurable, is surely going to die. Children refuse food and drink on account of soreness of mouth and throat. Fears she will lose her reason or that people will observe her mental confusion. Belladonna is the acute of. Ignatia is the acute of. Calamore is the chemical analog of. Fears he will die of being poisoned. Results of injuries to nerves with intense soreness and intolerance to cold bathing. Feels complaints more when thinking about them. Oversensitive to open air, great aversion to wind, especially about ears. Cinchona officinalis is complementary to. Amelioration from moving about. Pains after a fall on coccyx. Ipecacuanha complementary to. In catarrhal conditions, snapping and noises in the ear. Applicable to the later stages of inflammation with yellow discharges. Pains as if bones were all torn to pieces, as if broken like Eupatorium perfoliatum. Amelioration when holding feet in ice water. Prostration is marked but face more active than gelsemium. One of the greatest nerve remedies with marked prostration. Lycopodium is complementary to. Rattling of mucus in the chest like Antimonium tartaricum. Thuja is complementary to. Weeps when thanked. Mechanical injuries to periosteum. Ailments from suppressed foot sweat. Periosteal pain after wounds have healed. Like sulfur in many chronic diseases with abdominal plethora and congestion of portal circulation, develops a suppressed eruption. A powerful tissue remedy for hard, stony glands, varicose and enlarged veins, and malnutrition of bones. Rheumatism of cold weather, getting well in spring and returning in autumn. Ailments from grief or misdeeds of others like staphysagria. For children, young people, especially women of a nervous, hysterical temperament like Crocus and Ignatia. Suppurative process come within the range of this remedy after pus has found a vent. Affections of right side of body, head, ear, face, chest, ovary, sciatic nerve. Persons who are very particular, careful, but inclined to become easily excited or angered. Great apprehension at night cannot remain in bed. Eyes feels hot like balls of fire with spasms of lower lids. Especially adapted to diseases of children and women. Light hair, lacks fiber, fair complexion like bromium. Nasal discharge burns and corrodes the nose and upper lip. Aggravation, change of weather in spring like calisulf and natrum sulf. For persons anemic and dark complexion, dark hair and eyes, thin spare subjects instead of fat. Has no desire to live, but lacks courage to commit suicide. Catarrhal rheumatism or skin affections brought on or aggravated by sudden changes in hot weather like bryonia. Parts cold to touch, but not cold subjectively to the patient. For the anemic and catectic weather from loss of vital fluids, profuse menses, seminal losses, or mental affections. Cough aggravation lying with head low.